Greetings. What day is this? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I am back today with another video that I wanted to share with you guys. But I hope that you enjoyed my first video that I uploaded last week. What is hypnosis? I hope that you found that information valuable. I hope that you found that information descriptive. And again, you won't know exactly what I'm talking about if you don't understand hypnosis until you come out to a session or book a private session with me. I do private sessions, but I don't want to talk about the last video. I just want to thank the people who watched my videos. Thank the people who liked and subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you. I thank you for your support. I thank you for following instructions. I am trying to build something new here and I need support. I need support and I need the people who need this service, okay, this gift. I'm gonna call it a gift, because it's life changing if you do this. If you open your mind and try something new. So like I said in the first video, I like to get off track sometime, but that's just me. I'm gonna keep myself on track and get started in this video that I wanted to present to you today. Today I wanted to talk about family pathology. And the reason I want to talk about this subject is because with hypnosis, people who go through hypnosis or use sound therapy hypnosis. Today, I'm just going to really talk about hypnosis, okay? A person that gets hypnosis or goes to see a hypnotist is really trying to break patterns. And those patterns come from our family, okay? And you get good and you get bad patterns from your family. And so family pathology is pretty much, in a simplest term, just identifying the patterns that you have, that your mother has, that your mother's mother have, and that goes the same on your dad's side, okay? Now, for me, I'm just going to use myself for an example. For me, patterns, that deal with me, that I got from my mother, and then I passed to my children, and somebody has to break it so that it doesn't keep going, okay? And there is an exercise that needs to take place to break these patterns. They don't just happen, okay? You really have to work and break patterns because they're really deep, okay? So if you do hypnosis, you'll do some shadow work. That's what I like to call it, shadow work. And that shadow work is really some of those bad patterns that you got, whether it be from your mother, from your dad, whatever you've passed down to your children. There has to be someone to break the pattern. So hypnosis helps you break the pattern of the things that you've brought down through your family line, okay? And the first time I heard about family pathology, I was watching Iyanla Vanzant Fix My Life when it first came out. I think it was the episode with the guys that had all these children. I think it was one guy, he had a bunch of kids, and that episode was really deep. And that was the first time I ever heard of that term, family pathology. And when I heard it, and then she set the example, I was like, whoa, that's new, right? The other thing with family pathology, when you start talking about family pathology and really seeing and looking at things that you see in your family line that you might want to break, it makes other people around you uncomfortable. So this is nothing that you can take lightly, okay? This is going to change patterns in your family structure. And, in church, we say break the generational curses, okay? But how? This is going to teach you how, okay? But when you do this, when you start changing your life for the better for yourself, other people around you really do have an issue with that. And especially when you start looking at things that your family passed down to you, okay? And a lot of times these are bad things and you're tired of it. You want to do something different. You want to get a better outcome because your life is being affected by the family stuff. Okay, now in our culture, our Black culture, and I'm gonna be referencing Black culture a lot sometimes when I need to talk specifically to my people, because we need this. Okay, we haven't been taught this, and we're gonna have to learn it now because we're in a new age. I love everybody. I have no issue with race or color or anything. I'm beyond that. But there are going to be times where I have to speak specifically to subjects that other cultures may not understand. I need you to respect that while I teach them, and you be with love and support it. Okay, so I want to get that out the way. So back to what I was saying. When we start looking at family dynamics in the Black culture, and we start asking questions and wanting to know things, it gets a little uncomfortable and rocky. Okay, so I want to say that before you just jump into these things, because you got to be ready for the change that you're going to get through breaking the patterns. Okay, and it will trigger others, and you got to know how to deal with this. You got to be at a point where you're tired of being sick and tired, and you do not care. Okay, you do not care, and you want something better because you deserve better. Okay, you deserve to know how to live on this earth in happiness, in abundance, in love. Okay, because I don't think anybody, I don't know, let me not say anybody, a lot of us have not experienced that, because for myself, I was always in fight or flight. Okay, I was always on the go. I was always never in the moment. And when you start to break patterns off of your life, your mind, your nervous system changes. And this is scientifically, okay? Your nervous system changes, your cells change. And this is where sound therapy also helps with this, okay? But learning how to speak to yourself, because in hypnosis, what I do in some sessions, or it just depends, most sessions, I will be feeding your subconscious suggestions, positive suggestions, okay? And that talking to yourself in a loving tone, because your voice is frequencies. It literally puts frequencies out into the universe, and these frequencies have healing, okay? But if you have been a person that has a lot of family patterns, I'm gonna call them family patterns for right now, that are, not so great, that causes you to feel low, that causes you to feel unworthy, that has caused you to feel undeserving, you don't know what this feels like. And I'm telling you from experience, because everything that I'm teaching, everything that I'm talking about, I've experienced it, I've done the work, I understand it, and it works, okay? And it's not easy. It's not easy. So if you think this is a microwave type situation, this is not it. But if you want something, if you want to learn something to change your mind, that is going to change, because you're going to be breaking habits, and you learn new habits, and sometimes you might, slip down or whatever, but your subconscious, your mind starts to change your body, okay? Like I said, your nervous system changes. You start to change once you start learning how to speak to yourself, okay? And again, we're relating this to church when they tell you got to speak over yourself. You got to speak over yourself. You know how to do it, but you got to know what you're doing, and doing it with intention and awareness. This is the part that they leave out in church. They don't tell you the how. They do tell you some, speak it, but you got to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe it, there are different things that when you're talking positive to yourself, that it should be. It should be positive. It should be simple. You got to believe it. Let's stop right there. You got to believe it. And this is where most people fall off, because in the moment of hypeness at church, while you're in praise and worship, the pastor is literally speaking suggestions to you. If you're during the praise and worship, especially if you got the hooping going on, you know what I'm saying? That is really when everybody's in that theta, when your brain is in that theta state, this is where you get fed suggestions. So if your pastors, y'all up, y'all hype, whatever and you're in that theta state when you're when people catch the Holy Ghost, or you might be in a zone, meditate, whatever your emotion is, whatever you're feeling in that time, right? You really believe what the pastor's saying. You really believe that those bills are going to get paid. You really believe that you have your next breakthrough coming. You really believe whatever he's saying. Those are suggestions that he's actually feeding you. Your pastor's feeding you in that time, right? So then once you leave church and the music is gone and you get home, you don't believe what you just did. You don't believe it anymore, because you don't believe it, because it sounded good in that moment. But when you get home, you believe it, but you think that it can happen, but you just don't believe it. And we got to we break the bad patterns and the bad habits, or the uncomfortable things. We break that so you can actually start to believe. Okay, so it takes work. So when you continue to go back to church and you get discouraged because things aren't working for you like it may be working for other people in the congregation, or for the pastor, for that sake. The pastor usually has a nice car, living good and all that stuff. No hate towards that, but you on the other hand, that you're not getting that same outcome. And I want to show you how to do that, but you got to do some work. This is the work that we should have gotten, or we should be taught in church. Okay, so you got to learn how to believe in yourself. And there are exercises, there are things that you can do to break patterns from the family pathology that can help you. Okay, and anyway, I wanted to kind of get more into that today. So that's a lot about family pathology. It's just basically patterns that are passed down, and you got to break these patterns so that you can have a better life. Start to really truly enjoy life on earth, not after you die. You can create your heaven on earth, but you got to break some things off. Okay. So let's see, I got a few questions that I like to answer. And if you have questions that you want to ask, I forgot to tell you in the last video, please you can send me an email right now. My email is lholmes, and that's HOLMES 48 at yahoo.com. And yes, I still have Yahoo. It works fine. So, okay. So, why is it important to know and understand family pathology? I kind of explained that already. Because really it helps you get to the root cause of your current behavior. Okay. But again, you can't go digging if you're not ready. You have to be ready. Okay. You have to be ready, because again, you just have to be ready. It's not anything to take lightly, but at this point in time in life, nothing should be taken lightly, because we're really in a serious spiritual warfare, and people are depressed, people are sad, people are all over the place, and it's not right, because you don't even understand why you're in these places. And I want to show you how you can change that for yourself. And again, I've done this work, I understand it, and it works, period. It works. So that's why it's important to know that. It's kind of like finding the map. When as a kid, you find a treasure map and you follow the map, it's trying to lead you somewhere. Once you find what your root causes are to why you do this, and you can have a plan to break it, you're going to get something totally different in your life. You're going to get something totally different. So a few examples of certain things I talked about already is in your family pathology. I made an example, but I'm just going to say one example of something that is passed down through your family, through your family. Most of the time it's emotional abuse. Emotional abuse, I'm saying that as a whole, because it breaks down into other subtitles and sub things. in your life. Because, for instance, if you did not have the affection of your mother or your dad, that causes a child to immediately have abandonment issues. Okay, and I won't say immediately, but once a child gets to a certain age and realize something is missing, mother or father or both, and it could be, for whatever reasons. But my point I'm making is the emotional abuse in different forms sometimes causes abandonment issues. Okay, and so when a person grows up with abandonment issues, they try to find things in other people that they are missing because they didn't get it from somewhere. And again, this topic is touchy, especially when you start looking at these things, and because it's going to bring up emotions in you, and it's supposed to, because these emotions, you got to deal with the emotion so you can break the pattern, so that you can release that you're holding with that issue. Because again, if you're holding things, you can't receive things. And this is kind of universal. Okay, this is a law of attraction kind of. You got to release things to receive things. And so you got to learn how to release these things. Okay. Some people may suffer with depression. Depression, I know, passes down different family lines. I suffer with depression. I used to. Low self-esteem, overeating. I want to really kind of talk about overeating, because overeating is something that all of us do or have done. You emotionally eat. We all emotionally eat. And that's why we are overweight, because we are eating to fill a void of some sort. Okay. So when I used to overeat, mine was cookies, but I used to love bread. I used to just love food. But when I was really stressed, and it could be because of, most of the time it was because of bills, or something was due and I had to do this, or I was stretched thin or whatever, but I would emotionally overeat cookies right before I would go to sleep. Okay. I would just binge out. Okay. Because I found comfort in that. And it might have been other things that I would overeat, especially if I was going through a breakup or something, just something crazy like that. You tend to find your favorite food and you do it. And so with hypnosis, helping you with overeating, it's going to teach you where is the path. What is it? What makes you overeat? When you're overeating, what are you doing? What is going on? Being aware, literally teaching you how to be aware of what's happening now, so that you can be more focused to see why you overeating. So when you pull out the cookies, when you pull out whatever your thing is, okay, what is this? Why am I overeating? Literally sitting and speaking to yourself. But it feels weird initially at first, because you're not used to doing something like that. You're not used to talking to yourself. You're not used to caring. And again, if you have emotional abuse issues and abandonment issues, touch and love and showing affection is very hard for some people. Okay. Because it was hard for me. I could show emotion and love to my children, but I could not receive it because I didn't really get that, so, and it wasn't, a bad thing or anything like it. Well, it was a bad thing, but I'm over that part of my life. I understand it now. When you understand things really, really better and really get an understanding, that is where your forgiveness comes in too. So a lot of this is going to help you with forgiveness. It's going to help you with, just changing your heart and changing your mind. But anyway, I'm sure I got off track. I was talking about overeating, but overeating, hypnosis can help you with that. I want you to come out to the session so that you can see what I'm talking about, which we won't be talking about all of that on that day, but you can book a private session with me as well. So, what other question do I have? I think I got them all. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to talk about family pathology. I thought that would be a good way to kind of connect what I'm trying to convey to you guys, and get you to understand a little bit. Look up family pathology. You know, in my culture, in our culture, we are really good with suppressing emotions and different things that we know that has happened to us, or things that, we just don't really like to talk about. It's time to let them go now, because holding on to things that you can't control anymore keeps you in the past in depression. And I'm not going to say that enough, because it's true. And it stunts you. It literally puts you in a time capsule when you live in the past and you can't let go of things that happened 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And don't get me wrong, I was the same way, Um, but again, you can't receive if you don't release, okay? And this stuff helps. And again, when you let go of stuff that happened 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, however many years ago, it's going to immediately put you in the present. When I realized I was so in the past and so in the future and never in the present, when I woke up to the present and start being aware and living in the moment, each day is new for me. It's not like I'm going on autopilot anymore. It's fun. I get up with a clear mind, clear focus. What was I going to say? Not meditation. Hypnosis, puts you in a relaxed state. So this is nothing that you're going to be rah rah, and it's you're going to be in a relaxed state. Hypnosis helps people how to learn how to relax first. If my client comes in and they are very, they're really dealing with stress, we're going to deal with the stress in that moment at the time before we get deep into this. So it's not a one day fix it. You gotta be consistent. You gotta come, but eventually you won't have to come. That's the thing. This is going to teach you, and once you learn it, you can now pass this information along, so this is something that's going to help you, and you're going to get a long-term investment, but you got to invest in the front end first, okay, and really be dedicated. But I don't know what I was saying. I just kind of went blank. Sorry about that. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was trying to say. I don't remember. I kind of do that sometimes, and I cannot start this video over, but I guess it's time for me to wrap up. Gosh, I hate when I do that. But anyway, if you're going to be in the Atlanta area on August 12th, I would love for you, and if you're in the Atlanta McDonough area, I would love for you to come out to my first hypnotherapy hypnosis session. I would love for you to come out. I would love for you to just come and experience. It's going to just be different. It's going to be different in a great way. It's going to be different in a great way. Oh, I know what I was going to say. If you are dealing with stress, it's going to just be dealing with relaxation. I'm not going to we don't jump right in. We got to talk. We got to kind of get to know and what your goals are a little bit. And then we kind of set the plan that way when we do an individualized session. Okay. Now, if you want a group session, that's fine too. But individual sessions, if you came in dealing with stress, I would not just jump in, like I said earlier, into, deep things. We're going to just deal with your stress. So I'll do a lot of relaxation techniques with you and show you to calm you, to try to calm you down. That's when I tried hypnosis, that's what I was dealing with. Very, very high anxiety. I think I said that in the first video, but we're just going to deal with that stress for then, and then we'll just work our way. Okay. So that's what I was saying. So I'm jump back and just go back to, if you're going to be in the Atlanta McDonough area on August 12th, I would love for you to come out to the event I'm hosting. I am going to find a way to put the invite on this video. Get your ticket. I would love for you to come out, bring your friends, bring your girlfriends. Guys are allowed. Just come out. Just come out. If you're looking to do and try and learn something different, come out and just see what it's about. you won't be the same, in a good way, in a good way. It's only $44, and I do private sessions, and I'm going to do a lot of different things, but wanted to just give you this video for today. And like I told you in the first video, I want to keep them under 30 minutes. I'm at 25 now. But if you have any questions that you would like to ask or talk about, again, everything is confidential. Everything is confidential. You can send me an email at lholmes48@yahoo.com. That's LHOLMES 48@yahoo.com. And like this page, please. Like the video. Subscribe to my channel. Share the video as well if this information helps. But again, I look forward to the next video, and have a good day.